So here at the zoo, we give them a range of different items to try and replicate what they'd be doing in the wild. So what have we got today?
A bunch of chicks.
Oh, good. Scatter them everywhere.
What is it?
So day-old chicks. So you have a look. They're dead, obviously. We give them whole chicken. We give them quails.
Day-old chicks.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh, so give them quails. We give them kangaroo, deer, beef. So just a range of different food. We can give them eggs and then all different enrichment items as well. So try and vary it up. And then their food is, you know, like today it's in lots of little pieces. Other days it's in a big chunk. So try and replicate what they have in the wild. And they also have a starve day. So if you come to the talk on Monday, it's not as good because you actually don't get to watch them get fed.
But do they still stand there wanting
they
to get
wait
fed?
for it. And then usually they're most angry on Tuesday morning because they are hungry.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so in the wild they wouldn't be eating every day. So try and help with their metabolism. Hello everyone. Our devils are just getting fed at the moment. So they have an exceptional sense of smell. So you'll see them walking around trying to sniff out those chickens. We give them scent enrichment most days. So obviously in the wild they'd be coming into contact with so many different scents. So we're trying to, you know, bring into their life some different experiences, and we do that a lot through scent enrichment. So it can be as simple as spices or herbs, but it can also be the feces or feathers or hair from other animals.
Will they come in the water and grab that one? They will.
Fantastic swimmers, yeah.
Yeah, they love it. In summer, they are often in the water.
Yeah.
Can everyone hear the noise as they make? Does anyone know where a devil got its name from? Yeah.
I know.
When the Europeans first came,
Oh.
they didn't see what the devils looked like. They could just hear at night the scream, and so they called it devil.
Yeah, so they sound pretty ferocious, especially when they'd be coming together and making those noises. But also, if the sun was out, you'd be able to see their ears. So the sun shines through them and they glow red. So that's where they get their name. So they are a solitary species, but they do come together for food. Not to hunt the food together, but imagine a dead carcass of a kangaroo on the side of the road. That would attract a lot of devils. So they come into contact when they're feeding, and they also come into contact when they're mating. But unfortunately, that has also meant, has everyone heard of the devil facial tumour disease? Yeah, so what that is, it's actually a cancer. And it's an infectious cancer, so they pass it between each other, and they do that when they come in contact for eating and for breeding. So because they're all working on one carcass, unfortunately with those really sharp teeth, they can accidentally nip each other. They get that cancer. And it's pretty horrible. What happens is they grow these lumps and these lesions around their mouth, and it actually causes starvation because they can't eat. So that is why you often see devils. Why you see devils in zoos, because we've been working on conservation programs. So,
we got him.
we've had them here since 2007, and we've bred a total of 49 since then. Some of those have been put back into the wild, and then the rest have been moved around between different zoos. So trying to move them around to get the best possible genetics within a zoo. But unfortunately that disease, it resulted in 80% reduction in their population in the past few decades. So it's very detrimental to them. They are finding now that there is a bit more of a resilience to the disease, and there are actually two types of the disease. And there are whole populations that aren't even affected, which is really great. So some islands around Tasmania, and then some quite isolated pockets in the forest that aren't affected, which is great. So that's why we've actually stepped out of breeding our girls here, and we just have them as display animals. Focusing on different species.
If you're in the wild, the human, would they attack humans?
No, they're very what is the word? Like they're more nervous of us. So the only reason that you would ever get attacked by a devil is if you really cornered it or you tried to grab it. So even when we go in there, they're wary of us. They know, you know, we're bigger, we're scarier. They're not going to come for us. And these are girls that have been raised in captivity. But in the wild, absolutely not. You wouldn't get attacked unless you are there grabbing one. And it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get that opportunity anyway. Butcher bird's gone. Oh, they took it into the tree. Get some chicken dropped on
So
you.
what butcher birds will actually do, they get their name because they'll stick their food in like twigs and stuff in trees to store it and come back to it. And they'll create like a little stash. So it looks like he's kind of somewhat attempting to do that. And it kind of looks like a butcher's kind of dealt with this piece of meat.
Oh, do you want to know one of my most interesting facts about devils? How many babies do you think they give birth to?
50.
50? Pretty close. So they can actually have a lot of babies. So up to 20 to 40, so they'll give birth to. They're tiny, the size of a grain of rice, but they only have 4 teats. So that means the firstborn for those teats will survive. What do you think happens to the rest?
Eaten.
Yeah, they're a bit of a snack for mum. So it's a bit brutal. Interesting fact though.
Is that they just want to keep 4 or 5?
Well, they only have that many teats, the 4, so the rest literally can't survive.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they live inside mum's couch. for the
So
first
they
3 to
only
4
eat them
months.
after they're dead. After they can't.
Yeah, they'd just be like grooming themselves.
So
So-
essentially with marsupials,
So they
have
don't
really
share
short
the teeth. The teeth. They
Um,
don't share the teeth at all.
no,
One's-
so they have a 21-day gestation. So mum's only pregnant 21 days with these guys. So when they're born, they're severely underdeveloped. So when our marsupial mammals get into the pouch, they actually fuse to the teat. And so if you find roadkill or something like that, a mum that's been hit by a car and she's got a joey in the pouch, often you actually have to cut the joey off with the teat because they fused. And that's just to ensure that that young joey, who's really fragile, is ensured that nutrition that they need at such a fragile stage. And then as they grow older, they'll come off the teat.